This is
Jane Bond art.
Okay, let's draw here very cool view. Так. Ooh. Yeah. So it's kind of like 3-point perspective grid. 3-point vanishing. 3 vanishing point perspective grid. Madness. Так. So, yeah, first, what do we see? So, even like camera high here, but it's still looking up, and because it's looking up, we have y-axis conversion upwards. So it's like camera looking towards zenith, right? So if camera parallel to ground, it means vertical lines perpendicular to camera direction, right? We have this 90-degree angle. If camera looking up, so it means it's now not perpendicular anymore. So, and we have let's say so here this horizon line and the vanishing point here, and here is our y vanishing point zenith. So now we have y-axis, the kind of convergence towards y vanishing point, not parallel like this anymore. And if camera look down, we will see how now is a y vanishing point is a nadir. See, and we will see it's like a y axis kind of convergent towards y vanishing point. So, you know, this is kind of like what I was talking every time. It's kind of basic understanding of perspective, which is full of tiny nuances, which is became very clear with the practice. So you can spend, you know, like thousands of hours learning theory and kind of finding explanation for everything, you know, like people asking sometimes like how to draw like I don't know, like a running galloping cow in a 27-point perspective, you know. And I say, if you don't know how to do it, right, if you are not able to figure out yourself like how to draw something specific like this, then it means you are not ready. And like beginners, they kind of get to this trap when they think like before they draw they need to know everything. It's like, oh, I need to learn every theory about perspective. I need to understand like every principles, and then I will able to draw and I will start to draw, you know. It's not how it works, because in reality you cannot understand advanced perspective without practice. Because in advanced perspective, it's about basic principles. So it's kind of, it sounds funny, and it really is. It's kind of this paradox which people, students, need to grow up to. You know, it's like when you learn what is paradox, how kind of paradox as a essential true about our reality. Is that, yeah, it's like most complex things, they're most basic, but it's require like experience to see it more nuance. So this kind of complexity, it's complexity based on practical knowledge. So it's like, how can you use basic principles, not in learning some kind of secret theory. Because kind of like paradox for beginners. It's like when they hear this secret, quote unquote, kind of secret theory, right? Very kind of specific, complex answer to their very specific question. They're just not able to understand. It sounds for them like a gibberish. So it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Can you just talk about like step 1, step 2? Hello, Санами. Санами. Доброе утро. Так. Is also morning in your place? Okay, so these are horizon line, the origin point, y-axis, and let's draw x-axis. So here for this room, it's like first we have box with a rounded ceiling. Oh, nice. I'm glad it helped. Так. It's interesting, like in the teaching, you know, this kind of, let me see if where is, no, it's no vanishing point for x, for the, so I was thinking make vanishing point for x or not. Okay, I can make maybe x vanishing point. I see kind of interesting thing about teaching art, teaching art. It's like some artists, they went so far so they even don't understand themselves, like how they draw. Some other artists, they like, I kind of like this approach when you not so far from a period when you learn yourself and you still remember how it feels to be in the beginning kind of learning process. So it's kind of perfect time to share. But yeah, definitely there's some artists, very rare, who is a very advanced artist and also very good teachers. It's a very rare type. So I think it's like Marshall Van Drove and who's this guy? Will Weston, yeah. Maybe also Iron Blaze. Yeah. Так. So let's see here. So now I draw box for this. A room. So we have this like farther wall. Yeah, we'll check. Sanami, do you have like your YouTube channel? I will check it out. Так. So here we have like, you can use diagonal to find center. Kind of like a drawing a roof. Okay. Так. One, two. Oh. Yeah, here's some movement. So yeah, like some movements, they're very uncomfortable to make. Like this one. It's like, oh, I cannot make straight line like this. Like this, more or less. Let's try. Yeah, like Scott Robertson in a book, he even recommend only practice one move, like this, for example. So you just turn page around and you basically make same move every time. But I like idea drawing in every direction. Так. Okay, so here is kind of our box is ready. So I can for ceiling, if I want, I can draw more arcs. Так. So let's see. That's wrong. Так. That's wrong here. Some line I did wrong. Yeah, because this one too low. Shouldn't be higher. Be here. It's kind of example how difficult draw geometry with the left hand. Так. So what is also interesting, kind of, it's you see this curvature, right? And similar, like we have with straight lines in a building perspective grid. Once you have two lines like this, it's kind of foundation for perspective grid, because now you can just subdivide, right? You don't need much measurements kind of here. Same here, like once you have two curved lines in perspective, and if it's look like kind of correct enough, it give you idea of how curvature change in the space, right? So here is like more round, and this one like became more flat, kind of closer it moves to here. So here it should be like just a line, right? So we can kind of play around with this curvature. Так. So let's see. Whoop. Так. I was wrong. It should be here. Okay. Here will be like a straight. Huh. Cool. Yeah, so this vertical line. Anyway, so let's put stairs. And maybe can make little longer here. Too short. Yeah, let's make little longer. Так. Okay, if it's not clear what I did, let me draw maybe a isometry box here to see more clear. So here we have this room. We have like two levels, right? So one level and second level. So first we make this kind of platform for a first stair from here. So like this. So from here, first stair go down. And other side also we cannot see, but there is also other side, right? So then we have this side here, and here we have in the middle lower platform. So it's convenient to see them as kind of boxes. So now we connect this with the stairs like that, and then this center level it's like this, so it's have round corners. So this kind of construction, what we see. Okay, so this Round stairs. So what we do when we draw complex environments like this, it's you need to understand perspective. So for this is like what kind of perspective grid do you use, right? So say perspective. So here we have two different perspectives. This one in this demo, it's isometry, right? So it's like all lines parallel. It's isometry. Here it's kind of like 3-point perspective grid. Then second, we have like I don't know how to structure a geometry. Yeah, let's call it geometry. So it's like how to draw objects in perspective. So the stair is also a staircase. It's kind of, you see this boxes with the cut edges. So we have like, let's say one box, and here one more box, and here one more box, right? So we have 3 boxes, and now you can like in the middle, this box you make shorter, and then this box you cut diagonally, right? So now you have this like cut. This box same, you make cut like this and cut it diagonally. So basically in 3D everything is like a box. And a staircase is very convenient to consider staircase as a box. So, and here we have like this. Because this box we can draw in any perspective very easily, because it have clear y, x, and z dimensions. Okay, so it's like geometry. You need to kind of see it very clearly. And number 3, it's composition, right? So composition, you know, it's just like all these proportions, shapes. So you see I have different composition from reference. In the reference, this kind of like more kind of smaller, so like more in the side here. My stairs more exaggerated, more kind of stretch. So to make perspective and geometry match with your composition require kind of some extra work. It's not easily happen. It's not happen just accidentally, right? You need to spend some time to make sure it's like your desirable proportions kind of synchronize with the proper perspective and geometry. So you're not like trying to follow your desirable composition. You're not breaking rules. You're not breaking like essential principles of geometry, building, and perspective. And also like you not kind of compromise your composition just by making proper perspective. So you need to find how to match them, connect them together, right? So it requires sometimes like redrawing a couple times. This kind of thing what what you know, what I have I mean, it's just funny kind of observation, like when I draw outdoors, and I spend like most of time it's for this thing. I spend most of time it's just like making a lot of pencil drawing just to make sure like structure will match with the composition. So it's like all proportions will be as I want them to be, kind of, and every object will be in the right place while they're following perspective. So it takes a lot of time to like draw in erasing and stuff, and it looks like I don't know how to draw, when in reality, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of artists who just like, just like draw whatever they can, and just totally different thing. Like you're not just draw what you can, you draw how it should be, how you want it to be. Так, let me check advertising. I think YouTube again put advertising in the video. Так.
Who are you?
Who are you? Так. Because all this, like your feeling or your message, is in composition. But all power, all energy, and kind of effect, like make your message convincing, make your message clear and strong, it's underlying structure, it's a grammar, right? Like if your grammar no good, then your message will be weak. So if your like perspective, volume, form, grammar is weak, then kind of your composition will be weak, and your picture and illustration will be too soft, kind of, It's like people, when they draw some iconic architecture, right? Like you imagine, like you're, for example, you travel to Paris, you draw Eiffel Tower, but you don't build it, you just sketch it. Or you travel to Australia and you draw this famous theater, and you just sketch it, just kind of something like this. And I don't make it all like wobble line, so there's like no any structure and no perspective at all, like totally no kind of axis, grid, whatever. And it's like, why you do this? Like, why you, what kind of your message, right? It's so weak, so soft. It's totally losing whole quality kind of structure, like, which is like foundation of any architecture. It should have this structure. Should or must. Yeah, my English, lack of structure for sure. Let's see. So now I kind of add some details. Yeah, for sphere, if you want to draw better spheres, it's first of all it's ellipses, right? So if you stuck, if you feel something like wrong and you don't understand what with a sphere, then it's definitely a problem with ellipses. So you can like let's say give yourself a little space, like less pressure, move to ellipses, right? Spend some time drawing ellipses. Maybe to make it more fun, draw ellipses for wheels, right? So you can, instead of just sit and drawing like ellipse exercises, you can practice drawing wheels and practice drawing wheels with a drawing vehicle. So it can be like very, also like make vehicle very basic without trying to make it like super detailed, right? Just make it like a brick. So you have this car body, you have tumble dome like this. Remember, like in my tutorial, it's like very simple. It's kind of satisfying for some extent, right? Because like it's already kind of look like a car, but without let's say without ambition to make it like really super realistic, and especially you don't try to make it look like a real model like BMW or something, right? So what you do, you have ground, you have vehicle, and then you have like wheelbase, right? So wheelbase, which can be like two tablets, or it can be like a one cylinder which you cut, then you make wheels from cylinder. So whatever, just practice to draw clear ellipses. So, or you can draw like cylinders in perspective, even like 1 point perspective, for example. So have see. So you will have like ellipse above horizon line, ellipse below horizon line, or you can, so in this like making cylinder, right? And there within this you can make cuts, so there will be like more narrow ellipse, like closer to horizon line, more narrow ellipse will be, or is like one vanishing point, but you draw it like this, right? Like leaning on a side. So then you will see how like a vertically like center ellipse will be like line on the left, ellipse will be like this, on the right ellipse will be like that, and then closer to vanishing point, more narrower will be ellipses. Так, distortion hollow pen, top graphite. Yeah, okay, submentary. Okay, I just not sure what to say about this. It's like you're sharing. Okay, it's just sharing kind of your struggle or how it goes. Yeah, but if you have like question to me, like specific question for something, you can join my Substack. Like in Substack, you can show me your drawing, ask like question, feedback, or you can become Patreon or you channel member and share your work in Discord. So in Discord, I also can see your drawings. Так. Так. Here. My Discord for channel members. So if you join YouTube members, you can join my Discord. Because if I open Discord for everybody, I will not answer people message anymore. You know, so it will be like too many people, everybody will write something, and I will stop to answer because too much people. So currently Discord it's only for YouTube members or patrons. Так, so here's this. Yeah, you can check us. Like membership is very cheap. It's like I don't know, like a cup of coffee in like 1 month price of one cup of coffee. I think it's kind of very affordable. Так, okay. So let's see. But for me, it's very cool, you know, like more people contribute. Just this, like how much? It's like $3, something like this. So $3, 100 people, and I will have $300 every month. Very cool. Так, so here's kind of weird. Так, let's see. because more income I will have from YouTube, less I will be distracted with side projects. Because right now, need to pay for house, so very distracting. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have very different approach. So I was like thinking a lot of time like how to monetize my teaching. But then because many bad stuff happen in the life in the world, and I was just kind of desperate, and I seen like, okay, like I just like to share and talk about art, and I don't care if I make money on it or not. That's it. And I even like I don't want to think about like what to give for free, what to give for money. I don't know like how to do this. How is like oh, this information I give you for free, but if you want to know more, you need to go to my special secret tutorial. I don't understand this. It's like you you say or you not say. That's it. So I just say whatever I know without any kind of marketing tricks. And I don't want. I'm not trying to look like a teacher, like super professional teacher or whatever. Like convincing people, like I'm a very professional. I'm a I'm a real master teacher. Take like hat, uh, how is it called, artist, uh, beretta, kind of this. Yeah, just like if you have something to say, just say it. That's kind of my approach. And so, like I like this advice about writing story. Like if you want to make like a story about, like for your comic book or whatever you write, first you should to think about like what you want to see as a reader, right? So you need to imagine yourself as a reader of your work, or if you write for young audiences, then you kind of like remember yourself when you was young, and like you're writing for yourself, and it's like kind of like making your child dream come true. It's like writing story which will be like perfect for you and make kind of yourself in the childhood like mind blown and like super happy with the story. So me, I constantly like thinking about like what as a kind of artist or student, what I want to see, what I wish somebody tell me or show me. And sometimes it's something like I wish teachers tell me before. So sometimes it's a certain words teacher must tell to student, like sometimes like very harsh words, like say you lazy ass, like stop crying, start drawing. Sounds like this. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like all this, it's kind of very basic principles which also kind of I wish somebody make it clear for me before. It's this theory of like a theater, like Shakespeare kind of say like life is a theater. So what it means, like among of all other uh, meaning with it, uh, it also means like there is limited amount of roles. It's like different, like people talking right now. It's like became like mainstream about main character, right? So it's like many different characters, many different roles, like archetypes, and all these roles we kind of switching. Like sometimes you main character, sometimes you father, sometimes you're like a teacher, student, who like oh yeah, you can even be like a victim or evil guy. You can be like a bad guy too, So it's like all these roles, they're just switching. So you never been yourself, uh, like purely, it's impossible. So every time you play certain role, it's just like this is what it means about life as theater. It means you always play in certain role, and being yourself, it's kind of um, I mean, it includes always being in a certain role. That's it. So, and kind of as professional, what is difference between like sleeping kind of person or less uh, conscious or aware person? It's he like less aware person is not aware about this phenomenon, is not and not aware about its own role. So like you don't know, like right now you playing this role, right? And but professional, he aware which role he play, like in which character he is right now in the current moment, and also he aware uh, he can be simultaneously in a couple roles, you know? So it's like you're writing as a writer, but also you're being as a reader, like maybe not simultaneously entirely, but you can switch them, right? So you kind of you're purposefully, deliberately, you consciously playing with the roles, like from which role you are right now, kind of acting right now. So it's kind of, I think it's very interesting and important quality for professional artists. So it can be a dancer or musician or kind of visual artist, director. Because like, yeah, I mean, imagine it's not like you're trying to be criticized as a viewer while you're writing. No, but you need to see your work through viewer eyes to have like feedback, just how it looks, So that's why at least you have two roles, two point of views at the same time. Так, so here we have yeah, I mean, it's like it's not new because yeah, is nothing new under the sun, right? Everything, all this like meta stuff, all this is old news. Так. So now I need to make this 45 angle. Yeah, I think it's like 45 angle squares. Let's see. So here we have this line. Okay, so we have 45 angle tiles, right? So here on the floor. And you know, it's kind of, again, you see, it's a practical situation right now. It's like, oh, how to draw this like 45 angle. So it's like, maybe it's not entirely, but I want to make 45 angle. So here we have this line. It's z-axis or x-axis, and boxes. So this is our x-axis, let's say, right? And these are z-axis. But tiles, they have like 45 angle orientation. This kind of square 45 angle. So how to find? You know, we all studied this before, but when we in a situation like right now, we kind of like need to spend some time to remember these basic principles. What we can do is like we have like normal square, right? And we draw this diagonal line in a square. So this is our 45 angle line. So if I have here square, so which again, like I'm being like little loose, right? But it's kind of like square enough, right? It looks like a square in this like very strong perspective. So if I make this diagonal line from corner to corner in this square, in this diagonal line, so it will be my 45. So this will be like let's say like z45 and x45. Okay. Left hand again. Little wavy. Because if I have like, okay, this here, and let's say one more square 45 here. So we have two lines. These two lines, it's already perspective grid. Because I can draw a line in between, and I can follow now. Like expand. I can just expand this grid. You see? So here I have this line, right? And here and now with this line, like how to find second line? Okay, one more basic thing to remember right now. Let's just follow this line where it goes. It goes. Oh, it's actually have vanishing point on horizon line. Right, so now we have like 45 angle vanishing point. So all this is super basic, all this like everybody learn in 1 week and after never use it, you know, because it's like what I say, all this kind of like advancing capabilities is always very basic principles. You just And okay, and this one for this line, right? Okay, it's we have immediately we can make grid because this line and the second line will be horizon line. So, and once we have like one line, second line, now we have grid. Okay. So, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's little eyeballing. If you want to be super precise, you just like put some paper, you find vanishing point, you will be more precise. But I think it's enough. So and now again, like, yeah, we find perspective, we remember geometry, but now I need to check how to align it with my composition. So we're okay. Let's make right hand here. So and it's kind of fun process. It's like it's really like geometry in a school. You know, when we study geometry in a school, and you have this like conditions, and then you need to figure out like dimensions for geometry objects, stuff like that. Same kind of here. It's like it's small equations you need to solve. It's a fun, and once you need to learn, you need to kind of teach yourself about enjoy, explain yourself what is fun in this like analytical side of drawing process. So it will be not like mundane, boring. It should be like some funny puzzle instead of being like boring necessity. You enjoy it as a interesting challenge. Just like uh, learn like how to hack your own mind, right? You kind of ask yourself like, why am I enjoying playing these stupid games on the phone with this like basic riddles, right? Can I like, how can I teach myself to treat perspective in same way, like if I'm playing this like mobile game? Uh, yeah, Submentary, watch my tutorials about basic perspective. I talk a lot about this. So um, you have your picture plane, right? And you have horizon line. So horizon line is also a line with x-axis and also with z-axis sometimes, because you see like horizon line, z vanishing point on horizon line and x vanishing point on horizon line. So it means at certain point z axis might have like 90 degree. At certain point x axis also will have 90 degree, right? So it's just like kind of basic knowledge. But also at certain point, because you see we have this z-axis going like this, like radiating lines, right? And obviously at certain point this radiating line will be aligned with horizon line, right? And going through x vanishing point. So it's a z-axis too. So horizon line, it's also match with z-axis. And the same happen with x. So at certain point x-axis is totally perpendicular. At certain point z-axis align with horizon line and align with z-axis. Okay, so you kind of always have it in mind. And then what we see, if we look here, for example, right? So this z-axis and this is horizon line. So I know z-axis here and horizon line here. It's also, x-axis, sorry. It's also x-axis, right? And this is showing me like an arrow. It's showing me where is vanishing point on the horizon line. So here it's showing me, say, oh, it's x vanishing point, right? So everywhere x-axis showing me towards vanishing point. So think with the picture frame, it's about like where is our picture frame inside this like default structure of perspective grids. So we have this perspective grid as radiating lines, right? Yeah, hello KitKat. And you can put picture frame here, you can put picture frame here, you can put picture frame here. It can be anywhere. So picture frame doesn't change structure of perspective itself. This perspective grid, it's a solid structure. This principle, it's a solid, is never change. Okay, so and you learn how to understand this relationship of picture frame and this structure, because this can be rotated, it can be anywhere, right? So a whole thing of practice exercises I talking on my channel is to develop this intuition, how to feel and be quickly with drawing this perspective structure, no matter what situation you have. You know, it's like you train your reflexes, again, like in the martial arts, like in the special forces, right? Like they practice reflexes, and then they practice reflexes in a extreme situation. And everybody know in extreme situation, like how they say is like in a real life situation, your memory is like I forget how much, but it's like from your normal kind of 100% abilities, right? It became like 20%, let's say. I mean, I don't mean like 100% memory, but 100% like normal abilities. In the action situation, in real life situation, is dramatically decrease. So to make your 20% efficient enough, you need to make your 100% to be like very, very like more than enough. You know, you need to make it more than you need. So then in the actual situation, you will have everything you need because by this reduction, right? And So for us, this real life situation is drawing illustration or drawing picture, you know. It's like this. Why it's a real life situation? Because it's not only about perspective. Because you need to think about like 100,000 stuff, and perspective is only one element of it, and you don't have like all this energy to focus on perspective. So that's why it should be on a state of reflex. You know, it should be like your intuition, and that's why you kind of need to practice all those basic principles. So okay, going back to this, right? So when I draw, I don't have like vanishing points in a picture frame. All I need is just two lines. So horizon line, it's already one line. Then second line, let's say like this, right? So it's telling me already like where is vanishing point because I know it's like pointing towards vanishing point, right? So all I need to do now is like drawing this structure, but without drawing it all. So drawing it part of it. So if we have this like radiating structure for one vanishing point, right? Now, I can draw like part of the structure, right? I can only draw like radiating lines without vanishing point. I mean, is it difficult? It's not so difficult, right? If we think about it. It's not so difficult. And this is what we're exactly doing here. So it's like, I say, okay, so we already have these two lines. They're both kind of showing me vanishing point. And now, like, I can just draw in between, and then in between each of these further two lines, right? So now, okay, now I have like a grid within this. Then I can transfer this kind of to other side, like degree of convergence, right? And then again I can subdivide. But all I do is just I draw in lines which point towards some point outside of picture frame. And same with other, let's say, y vanishing point, right? So we have like y-axis, let's say like this. Second line. Okay, I can draw like third line already. That's it, right? So for if we see like a structure which I was drawing, it's kind of this. All right, but I draw the structure without drawing vanishing points. I just draw converging lines. So it might be very difficult to understand because not because it's a difficult subject, but because it's new for your brain. It's like new perspective, and it's like some kind of like a riding bicycle, you know. But once you break through this barrier kind of never doing it before, kind of never using this idea before, once you break through this barrier, it became very easy. It's like a riding bicycle. And then you need to practice it, because then, you know, it will be difference between some like random dude riding bicycle or professional like a sport bicycle rider. It's like if you're artist, you need to be this kind of like a sport rider, right? So you need to more practice. Okay, I have one more question. Yeah, sub-mentor, you can check I really recommend watch Perspective for beginners, something like this name will very helpful for you. Pen tab graphite. When drawing perspective that is from your eyesight, so lower torso, legs and arms, holding pencil on paper with everything in front. So I mean, like, you outdoors draw an environment. Okay, it's interesting. Let me make a break here for
Subscribe, Keyboard Art. You now have 15 seconds to comply.
So funny thing about drawing outdoors is not very different from drawing from imagination. So it's kind of very, very, very cool. Like, I don't know, nobody will tell you but me. But it's kind of very interesting. It's exactly this thing when, what makes us all similar, like philosophy, all this theater, drawing, music, whatever, like we're all similar in this all crazy stuff, is that you're never see reality, kind of, right? You always see kind of like mix of your mind and signals from outside world, kind of, right? So it means what you see is already kind of your imagination, right? And now, as artist, when you draw, okay, let's say, so here's you, right? Like with a super pectoralis and так. You're drawing outdoors, right? And you're looking somewhere, and there's all these buildings, blah 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 blah. So you look at all of this, right? What you do? You're trying to draw this into your paper, right? Talking 5-point perspective for your from your eyesight, having lower torso, legs and arms. You mean like you want to draw in view with okay, yeah, it's like 5-point perspective. Yeah. Okay. No, anyway, like, let me finish this idea too. So it's anyway, it helps because it's important, kind of, too. When artists think this way, like, you look something, right? Oh, it's buildings and stuff in the street and dog and bird and blah blah, and you want to draw this in the paper, right? Wrong. People who think this way, they have no idea what they're doing. So and just if you think about, like we're talking previously, like it's a big gap between artists who understand what he's doing and artists who would not really know what he's doing, right? So to not be this guy who think he draw what he see, you should really understand. So what is in reality happen? In reality, you look something, right? all this stuff happen. Then in your head you think about this, right? You think like, oh, it's a dog, oh, I see it's a bird, oh, I see some building, right? And then you draw what you think about what you see. You draw it on a paper. Okay? Very important. So it's like if you're drawing from imagination. You're drawing from your own head every time. So this, what you look, it can be real life, or it can be photo reference, some picture kind of, right? Or it can be 3D model, or it can be a bunch of like a mix of everything, whatever reference, right? Visual reference. So drawing from life or drawing from photo, from 3D, it's the same stuff, it's just visual reference. So this very important to understand, very important to know this. So you always draw what you think, and visual reference just give you some kind of like clues, feed your imagination with interesting material, with the details, with some information about subject you want to draw, right? And if we compare like a visual reference, like if we put here as like real world visual reference, photograph, like 2D and 3D, right? Visual reference. Real world is just life, right? Visual reference, like from life, is just like uncomparably enriched. It's like nothing can be even close to how much information you have from real life. It's like extremely like overwhelming. It's like so many information, like in every way, shapes, colors, perspective, details, whatever. So, but technically they're same, right? It's just like ideas for you. So you draw in your imagination and you picking. You're just like picking, like say, oh, what kind of information I want to take from visual reference, what I want to use in my work. So drawing from life, basically like you so here like you sit at home, right? How you start when you draw picture, or when you just drawing at home. If you watch Jinbon art, right, you always start with kind of like composition and perspective grid. So it's kind of like, it's hard to start to say what should be first. It's like chicken and egg, right? It's like a particle and wave. It's kind of like they should be always together. You always should from beginning think about composition, and from beginning you should know your perspective grid. But most default, let's say, is perspective grid. So because perspective grid, it's the foundation for whole world you will build inside your picture. Because now you can put house, you can add floors, and you add this all whatever you want, right? Once you have foundation, so you need this foundation first. And for this kind of perspective, when you say like artist, he see his legs when he draw, right? You watch my tutorial about fisheye perspective grids, because it means you draw in wide angle, so you include y vanishing point, like under you is y vanishing point nadir, right? In front of you it's z vanishing point. So at least it's kind of like you include this kind of area, right? So it's kind of go maybe little outside of below your below vanishing point. So talking again this principle was explained before, every type of perspective, it's a solid structure. So fisheye perspective or like 5-point perspective, fisheyes can be different. Let's say 5-point perspective. It's this structure, right? It's like we have this kind of so this z vanishing point, y zenith above here, y nadir below, x on the left, x on the right. So y nadir is like for artists, right, who draw, it's like where you stand, it's your standing point, kind of. And you also need to know how axis lines behave when we have outside of vanishing point. So inside 5-point perspective, we remember this x go like this, y go like this, right? Outside y start to go like this. So it's kind of start to look like a magnet waves. This also y, right? So this is straight. Here is go like this, going through x vanishing point, and then it's go like this. Like a magnet, like Earth's magnetic field, kind of, right? Same with x. X, it's also horizon line, straight line, horizon line, and then it go like this. Then it's go like half circle, going through y vanishing point, and then it's go like this. So even without being like super precise, without calculating curvature, like just eyeballing curvature, it's kind of already doing a job for most of cases. Okay, what is important here is to understand direction of curvature, right? So you will not mistake, at least like, so it's curves this way, not that way. So you need to remember like which way it curves and where it goes. So this is solid structure for this, like, let's say like I call it usually 5+, right? So it's like 5-point perspective, but going little like out of it. It's not 6-point perspective yet, but it's more than just 5-point perspective. So, and when you draw again on a paper, you say like, oh, I want to draw this kind of 5-point perspective, but you don't need to draw it all entirely, right? You like, in this case, it can be, it can be kind of about here, for example, right? So you have like z vanishing point, you have this vanishing point under your legs, and you don't have even x vanishing points, but you have this curvilinear structure. So, and you know why it curves this way, because you remember whole construction. So this is my y nadir, here is my z, and horizon line, and y-axis go like this. And here is like this magnetic field, right? So you see how curvature behave, right? It's go like this, like this, like this, woo, woo, and became straight line again. And here straight line, curve, 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 woo, woo, woo. So this is our y vanishing point below your leg. And for x, this x, and this x, and then kind of in between this transition, right? And then what happened with x outside is start to go like this, kind of just explode, right? And here it's curve opposite way. So this kind of how you draw, so if we draw guy here, so let's see, we can see through. So it's like your artist kind of leg here, and here is like you holding this transparent paper kind of, right? And here what you see in front, also forget the vanishing point, right? So the axis like this, right? So here can be okay, buildings, maybe some dude standing near you. Look, oh, what are you drawing? Like, are you a real artist? What do you think about AI? You know, and stuff like that. And so this kind of yeah, and we can also is their legs there and whatever. So it's kind of drawing this type of view. It's a trope in itself. It has its own kind of structure, and you can at home you kind of practice with it, so you better understand how to draw it in the real life. Because it's kind of like you know, here you might also like think about like, oh, how to calculate all this ratio. Just what I say, what I will say is kind of, instead of, don't be like too serious about calculating all proportions exactly as they should be in a complex perspective like this. Because sometimes it's just unrealistically demanding. You know, it's like it will take too much time and effort to calculate it. So instead of making like worrying making it super precise, you think about how to make it look convincing, so people not notice if you have some errors with proportions, because like these legs, oh, maybe they should be like much smaller, you know. So you just look yourself, if it looks like these legs are too big, make them smaller. That's it. So let's say like most problem here, like in the most cases, is just when artists draw in this kind of view without knowing perspective grid, when they don't understand perspective grid, so they don't understand like behavior of XYZ, right? They don't understand why it should curve this way or why it goes this direction. So if you understand it clearly, it's already like very kind of all you need to know, basically. And in this kind of proportions, it's like you will do couple drawings and you will learn how to adjust, how to control it. So let's say again, let's say it's like if you're standing here, let's say, and so this is your eye level, right? And we assume like you're like 180 in this like centimeters, right? So, and now like everybody who's same height as you, we kind of put their eyes on the same level. Так. It's too close to. And here maybe this guy. It's like, what are you standing here? Why? Why are you standing here? And then maybe children. So children can be like half, let's say 90 centimeters, right? Here maybe walking from school. And then if we make this page bigger, and here I make guy double size, double height, so 3 meter 60, right? So let's say like this. So double size, so it will be like about pubic area kind of height, and he can be very far, stuff like that. Then you can take like, okay, this proportion but in the sky, and again put some buildings. So it's like very fun to play around with drawing when you have perspective grid. It's kind of, it solves so many problems once you have grid. And you know, you just, when you realize it, because everybody, you know, will always see this, like people kind of complaining and struggling with perspectives, like, wow, it's so difficult, and like, yeah, but it's also make everything so much easier when you're using it. Так. Так. Let's make an arrow. More narrow. Let's find middle. It's too much. Так. Так. Pen, tab, graphite. I don't know what in the Patreon. It's kind of like you see again, like I say, I don't have any special secret information. So if you became like YouTube member, there's some other videos, but on a Patreon, I don't remember. In the future, I plan I will put some tutorials there, but I just don't have time to work with Patreon. It's just for people who want to support me, you know. Kind of, I don't have like kind of some super special benefits. Because you see, it's all this stuff is not so easy as my seems, you know, like to manage all this paid content stuff. It's take a lot of time, and how to market all this. So it's like I need to say like, oh, here is free information for you, and there is like some special information. No, I just, like I say, I just, all information is open. And yeah, motorcycle is, there's some motorcycle information which is not open because of course it takes so much time for me to work on it, and it will be only in the book. Okay. Because yeah, motorcycle book, it was crazy. Так, so let's see, we put some dude. So if you want to see extra videos, it's YouTube membership. If you just want support, it's Patreon. Because I mean, not just honestly, right? Like, there is so much material on my YouTube, so I mean, there's no reason to pay for anything. It's only if you just want to support my work. That's it. Так. So let's try. this. And again, it's kind of just like at least $3 or $4. It's kind of very cheap. Так. So here we have robots. Look, kind of exploded head. Here's some other robot. Find some reference for Pragmata. Так. I also have Gumroad. I forget. On Gumroad I have some videos. So they're special, they're different videos on Gumroad because I've been record them separately. So if you want some like different from YouTube videos you can find on Gumroad. Yeah, hello, Grendel. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you should love drawing backgrounds. It's very fun. But also I think there's nothing wrong to use 3D for kind of just for information. So it's like when I will do world building for my comic book, I might make some 3D models. But kind of final work should be freehand. Like me personally, I like when everything been freehand drawn by artist. So it's like you open comic book, for example, and I like when it's everything been freehand drawn, so it's not like filters over 3D models, because kind of filters look horrible. I mean, it's just this 3D models, they look lifeless in our comic books. Even in animation too, it's very hard to make it look good. So it's take a lot of effort to to compensate stiffness of 3D model. So when it's like a moving castle in Miyazaki, it's not big deal because they work a lot to kind of compensate, making all these moving parts. But when people just like place in 3D, it's horrible. Just like, I hate it. So we need at least to have the skill to be able, even if you are using 3D for help, right? Like you can turn your 3D model to have like specific camera angle to draw is not a cheating. Everybody do this. Because like also once you learn how to draw environments, how to use perspective, you just enjoy it so much, you know. It's you just can't kind of spoil your illustration with 3D model. You want to draw it by hand, and it's not so difficult. If it's challenging, then it feels like challenging in a fun way. This kind of challenge you want to have sometimes, you know, just to feel alive. Alive. It's alive. It's kind of clever idea for developers to put character designs online, so it's easier for artists to draw their characters.
Who are you?
My name is Bond.
Jim Bond.
Yeah, I myself don't play video games right now, but I think I can't resist to try GTA 6. So, when it will out. Because at least before, it's like Red Dead Redemption or the stuff. It's just look like work of art. Some kind of like interactive virtual reality artwork. So if there exists contemporary art, like real contemporary art, it's video games for sure. No, only kind of with the exception. It's a big difference between like work of a small group or one person and like huge production. So it's kind of important to keep in mind. But same with with movies, right? Movies is also product of many artists. So it's like one man will never able, like, no, with old technologies at least, to make like Godfather or Lord of the Rings movie. Even like Akira Kurosawa, for example. Same as like so much in a good director work is not just about director, but about quality of his team. Because so many good ideas and smart solutions is actually came from team, not from director. He's not like so powerful, like for almighty kind of creator, as people might think. Так. Thank you for hearts. Alright. Так, let's see. Ah, okay, here have a gun. Let me see. Kind of. Yeah, this Pragmata actually can be good manga, right? I like it. I watched some videos with this game. It look like people joking it's like Dead Space, but for kind of family. But for me, it's also remind Blame, you know, Tsutomu Nihei. So it's like sci-fi Blame without horror kind of aspect. It's not so kind of creepy. So kind of так. Some girl has this like magic sci-fi magic. Hello, Danny Wax. Yeah, to make drawing look like 3D, you should draw it like 3D. So it should be like box and sections, kind of cross sections, you know. Так, I guess too big. Okay, let's make it faster.
madness. This is Jane Bond art.
在麦
was on a B-side, but I like this song very much. It kind of sums up everything we're about, the Kinks, because everybody's expecting us to do wonderful things and we mess it all up usually. This is called I'm Not Like Everybody Else.
预测 全心站 很多有敏感。
业路上不断。
Blood of mine enemies, take number one.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.